Okay, Rabbi, Erev Tov. Let's go on with Pirkeh Avot, Pirkeh Rabbi, chapter 4. Something very strong, right? Strong language over here. It says over there like this. Rabbi Yochanan ben Beroka Omer, Kol HaMechalel Shem Shamayim, whoever makes Chilul Hashem, Echad Shogeg ve'echad Mezid beChilul Hashem. Look what it says, right? It says that a person makes a Chilul Hashem. You know, we use this word like a lot, you know, people. Chilul Hashem, you made Chilul Hashem. What is Chilul Hashem? You know, we have to first understand, right? What is that? What's Chilul Hashem? Some people have all kinds of ideas, you know, about what that is. So the truth is, you know, the Chazal tell us, Chilul Hashem means like this. First of all, in English, right, how does it translate? Desecration of the name of God. You're desecrating. In other words, you're cheapening and ruining the name of Hashem. This is what Chilul Hashem means. How does a person do that? Right? What's the vehicle over here? Right? What's the path? So he does it by what? By doing a sin in public. You know, he does a sin, avera, in front of people. Especially when you have a minyan. You know, 10 people. We have minyan here, so you have to be careful. Right? We have minyan. You do avera in front of 10 people in public. That's called Chilul Hashem. Desecrate the name of God. Why? Because people say, oh, look at this guy. He did this? Probably it's allowed to do it. You know, if he does it, nobody says nothing. Nobody said anything to him. So it's probably allowed to do this. I see. Okay. So that's called Chilul Hashem. Because what's happening is that when you do a sin in front of the people, and especially when nobody says anything, right? It's a Chilul Hashem. Why? Because people think it's allowed to do this. That's one thing, you know. And also, they say, you know, the people don't care about these things. You know, we don't care. If they don't care, I don't care. Okay, we'll all do, you know, Chilul Hashem. That's what it means, Chilul Hashem, you know. So the Rambam talks very strong about this, by the way. In the laws of Teshuvah. He says that a person who does Chilul Hashem, what happens is that he can't get kapara for this on Yom Kippur. You know, right? There's no kapara for him on Yom Kippur. Even if he does Teshuvah, he doesn't get real kapara until what? Until the day he dies. Can you imagine such a thing like this? That's what it says. Until he dies, he doesn't have kapara for Chilul Hashem. So Chilul Hashem is a very strong thing, you know? Very powerful. When you do something in public, you know, you show everybody. I remember my friend used to say, you know, I have one friend. We used to pray on Yom Kippur in one of the shuls over here, you know? So what happened? You know, some rich guy, you know, would come on Yom Kippur. In the old days, you know, this is the way it was. Before, now people are a little bit more religious, Baruch Hashem. They don't do this anymore over here, in this area. But, you know, there was one guy, he a rich guy, you know, millionaire, you know. So he comes on Yom Kippur and he drives up, you know, to the synagogue, you know, right in front, you know. And he has a Bentley, you know, a fancy car, you know, Bentley. And he shows everybody, you know, how rich he is, you know, on Yom Kippur. This is Chilul Hashem, you know, like, how can it be any more Chilul Hashem than this, you know? You come in on Yom Kippur with your car and drive up, you know, and park the car right in front of the shul. This is Chilul Hashem. The biggest Chilul Hashem, right, you can make. Maybe, you know, there's other things also. That's a Chilul Hashem. That's what we're talking about. So a person like this, you know, who does something like this, he doesn't get kapara until the day he dies. That's what the Rambam says. It comes from the Talmud, this. The Rambam didn't make it up from his own mind. You know, it's from the Talmud. So, what Pirkeh Avot is saying over here is adding something to it also, you know? It says, Echad mezid ve'echad shogeg be'chilul Hashem. So you know what that means? It doesn't matter. If you made Chilul Hashem, it doesn't matter so much if it was be'mezid. You know, you did it on purpose. You know what I mean? Because you want to be a wise guy, you know? You want to be a Rasha, show everybody that you're a Rasha, you know? Yeah. You see? I'm Rasha, you know? I drive on Yom Kippur. Right? You see? I'm rich guy. I can do whatever I want. I don't care. I'm Rasha. You know, that's Bezid. You know, you're doing it on purpose. Because you know it's not allowed to drive on Yom Kippur. But also, if a person does Chilul Hashem b'shogeg, right? That's also a problem. What does that mean? He doesn't even know that this is asur. This is avera. He doesn't know. But he did it in front of people. You know, he showed people that this is mutar. This is allowed. So this is Chilul Hashem. He didn't know what he was doing. But he made Chilul Hashem anyway because he showed people that this is allowed to do. It's mutar, you know. So this is also Chilul Hashem. Even if you did it b'shogeg, still You made Chilul Hashem in front of everybody. You showed everybody that I'm doing Averot. So that's the thing. When it comes to Chilul Hashem, even shogeg is a problem because the other people they see, they learn from you these things, and they say, you see? So they punish you for that too. In general, right, if a person doesn't Averah b'shogeg, he's not really so responsible because he doesn't know what he's doing. So Hashem doesn't punish him, usually if it's b'shogeg. But if he does Chilul Hashem b'shogeg, they punish him for that. You know why? Because he showed everybody, not only himself, but he showed everybody that this is allowed to do such a thing like this. So, yeah.
2 years ago, we only had one synagogue on 71st.
Yeah, I remember. I was here. I was here at that time. Were you here? Were you here?
I just came.
Okay. Yeah, I was here.
So if people want to come to our shul, let's say, for Yom Kippur, they live far. What do they have to do? Should they come or stay home?
Good question. Okay, good question. So you know what the answer is, right? On Yom Kippur, the Chazal say it's like Shabbat. Same. Whatever is asur on Shabbat is also asur on Yom Kippur. Same thing, no difference, right? So therefore, a person cannot on Yom Kippur, tell like a goy, to drive him. Even a goy cannot tell him to drive to the synagogue. For sure, he cannot drive himself. That's for sure. But even a goy cannot tell him. Why? Because even on Shabbat, you're not allowed to tell a goy to drive you to synagogue. On Shabbat, not allowed.
Can you use a bike? Can you use a bus if you have a ticket?
Not really. No, you cannot do that. No, you cannot really use a bus. Whatever. It's a whole discussion, But the point is that when you punch the card, you're paying. You're making a payment. So this is also a problem. You know what I mean? You're making a payment there. So it's a problem. Even if you're taking a subway or a bus, you have to punch it in. My friend told me. He said, "Okay, I won't punch it in. I'll jump over." I said, that's also Chilul Hashem. What do you think? It's not Chilul Hashem to jump over and in the subway like this, They're going to say, oh, look at this Jewish guy, He's a thief, criminal, punk. No bigger Chilul Hashem than that. Who wants to do such a thing like this? You know what I mean? Okay, whatever, right? We got the idea. So anyway, when it comes to Chilul Hashem, a person has to be very careful. You want to do Averah, you know what it says in the Talmud, right? It says in the Talmud, if you really, have something is itching you, itching, like, You need to do Averah, like have this big desire, to do some Averah. And you can't stop yourself, you can't hold yourself back, So it's like, oh my God, you're going crazy, So it says in the Talmud, if you're going crazy like that, right, to do Averah, so you know what you should do? Put on some black clothing, black, everything shachor. Go to some place where nobody knows you there, and do the Averah over there. Why? Because at least you're not making Chilul Hashem, like this. Nobody knows you there. Nobody knows that you're Jewish. Nobody knows nothing. So at least do it this way. If you really can't stop yourself, at least don't make Chilul Hashem. Go somewhere where nobody knows you there. That's what it says in the Talmud. So that's what we're talking about. At least don't make Chilul Hashem. If you want to do something, okay, but don't show everybody. In the whole world. Oh, look at me. I'm Mixhael Shabbat. Look, I'm breaking Yom Kippur. Look at me. I'm going with the shiksa, with the goyish. I have a goyish girlfriend, Yeah, I have a girlfriend. Huh? What are you gonna say? What are you saying? What are you gonna do about it? What is it with you? What? You have to show everybody you have a girlfriend? He brings them to the party, to the bar mitzvah, He brings his goyish girlfriend, over there. Shiksa, What kind of thing is this? Chilul Hashem, this is what we're talking about, you know what I mean? And the truth is, I don't want to take too long. You guys have to do Arvit. You have to go home. I know. You have to have dinner, everything. Everything has its own time. I understand. Right? So, I remember about 12 years ago, I was here, I was living in Israel. I came here for a wedding. They invited me, It was my relative. So, I helped them, with the Sheva Brachot, some things, So I came, whatever. And unfortunately, I saw in the Sheva Brachot that they were doing, they were dancing together, men and women together, This is also Chilul Hashem. What do you think, You're making a party, and you have men and women dancing together. Chilul Hashem. What kind of thing is this, In front of everybody, you're touching these women, What kind of thing is this, What, well, it's a big Chilul Hashem, to do such a thing like this. In front of everybody. The camera is watching you, They're seeing you on Facebook, on YouTube, Come on. How many people have to see you doing Averot, Shem Yirachem.
99% waiting, 99%. They together dancing, 99%.
What can we do? We have to do Teshuvah, Shem Yirachem. We have to do Teshuvah, By the way, in Israel, you should know there's a big difference between the parties over here and the parties in Israel. When you go to the parties in Israel, I'm talking about the religious places, There are also not religious places. But in the religion, everything is separate and it's so beautiful, so much simcha. They're not going there. You know what the difference is? I'll tell you. Something really funny. There's so much simcha over there in the parties. They're dancing, it's so beautiful. And the boys are dancing like angels, like malachim, more there. Over here, people go to parties. What are they doing? Just eating, eating. One more steak, one more chicken, one more this. Everything is eating. How much can you eat? All you can eat. That's all they care about. This is what you go to a party for. To a wedding to eat, just to eat. Fill up your stomach. This is not the that's not the purpose of the party.
What you're talking about? One question.
Sure.
When boy dancing with boy, you know what happened? You know what? We just progress. Nothing happened.
Well, what happened? This is the Jewish way, the Jewish way. We dance together, we go in a circle,
This is the Jewish way?
Yeah, this is the Jewish way, of course.
Why is man separate from woman supposed to be gay?
Because when men and women are touching each other, this is avera. Even to touch a woman, is avera.
But what about touch men?
No problem. I can touch you. I can say, can I shake your hand? I can give you a hug. I can give you a kiss. No problem. What's the problem? I can't give you any. Here, my friend Jonathan. I can't kiss him. What's the problem? The only problem is, Rabbi, when you have bad, intentions. You're, one of those crazy people. That's something else. But if you're just doing it for love, for real love, no problem. Baruch tiyeh. ברוך ה' לעולם אמן ואמן. רבי חנניה בן השומר, נעשה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכר ישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר בני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.